yeah, so I wanted to ask Brother Lee, like, what has your relationship been with your ego?
Man,
Ooh.
that's a really beautiful, I take that as a huge compliment, like
Yeah.
the biggest compliment, because I mean, the spiritual side of Islam that sometimes people call Sufism. So, Islam is like kind of has these three major buckets for this huge like tradition, because it's not just a philosophy and it's not just a spiritual thing. It's also a practice, you know what I
Mm.
mean? But these are the three areas, like the theology or like what we believe is one bucket. What the practice of Islam, the outward practice is another one. And then the spirituality is another one, but they all go together. And the spirituality sometimes, so like the outward practice is called the Sharia.
Mhm.
They talk about Sharia law. Like it's not a law, it's a code of conduct that just puts everything a person can do in one of five moral categories. Um, and then the spiritual side of Islam is called Sufism, but um, the number one objective is to discipline the ego so that it's not in the driver's seat. So that because the internal part of the human being is a soul, a heart, an intellect, and an ego, or a soul, heart, um, mind, ego. And the ego is the enemy. Like the ego is trying to destroy everything. It's the thing that's obsessed with self, with individuality, with identity, with itself. And it demands what it wants, whether it's good for us or not. So it's the ego that makes us eat too much food and spend too much money. And, it's the ego that maybe makes people try to access somebody, have sex with somebody that doesn't want to have sex with them. It's
Right.
just demands. It's like if I want something, I demand to have it. And so yeah, I mean that's the whole purpose of the spiritual path is to, like you said, rein in the ego. It's like, man, that's the goal. Like that's it.
The wild part about winning, if you start winning battles with your ego enough, you can see everything around you change. The people around you are happier, right? Like you're happier. Like you can see things just getting better, markedly so. It's like, oh, that was like a weight, it's like a heavy backpack that I was carrying that now I don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, and it purifies everything. Like the ego is poisoning everything. And so reining in the ego purifies everything, including our truth telling. So, those years that I was really focused on political stuff, it's like there's a self-righteousness there, or there's like a heaviness to that. Like you said, like when you're in the room, like if I was upset about the world, it's like the whole room could feel really heavy.
Hmm.
And there's that's because it's being tainted by, poisoned by the ego and this like huge sense of this grandiose self importance. You know what I mean? That
Hmm.
like I'm gonna be the prophet that's gonna come and deliver the message that's gonna change and it's that way in art too. It's not only about political stuff or religious stuff, it's that way in every single thing. So there are
Right.
people that, have this sense of like, I'm an important artist, you know, and it can be that way about anything. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've I've found that, if the ego is being allowed to do its own thing, it'll destroy a religious practice, a spiritual practice. It'll destroy a political movement. It taints anything good, bad, and ugly that we're trying to do. So
Yeah.
Mm.